Hello, welcome. This is CryptoChain with simple cryptocurrency news, and in today's news video I'm going to be talking about a new crypto wallet service bringing digital currency to WhatsApp users. Then I'll be covering news from the Ontology ecosystem, and finally I'm going to wrap it up with news from the Neo ecosystem as I always do. Now before I get into the news, I just want to remind you that in the description of the video you will find the times as well as the topics that I'll be discussing in the video, so you can simply click on the time and it'll take you directly to the specific topic that you may be interested in watching. That being said, let's get right in. So on newsbtc.com, they reported that a new crypto wallet service bringing digital currency to WhatsApp users, and we're actually talking about Wuabit. So what is Wuabit? Wuabit is basically a small company which is made up of a group of developers, and they're basically working on creating applications within social media platforms. Okay, WhatsApp being the first one, which is basically trying to use a functionality within the chat command to be able to send Bitcoin payments, right? So it's pretty straightforward, but it is something big for the cryptocurrency ecosystem if you think about it, because people that haven't actually looked into cryptocurrency or maybe never heard of it will see the functionality and will be curious to find out more, right? So that's actually a step towards mass adoption if you look at it from this point of view, because a lot of people use WhatsApp, right? And not only that, but also of course people that use cryptocurrencies already, they'll just facilitate things and make them easier for them by simply using WhatsApp to make transactions. Now you can receive Bitcoin payments, right? But actually you can send and receive, so you can use both functionalities, right? Which is pretty cool. Now the other thing that they're talking about here is, of course, they're going to start with Bitcoin. Okay, that's going to be the wallet core service, but Wuabit also intends to launch the public beta service next month. So we need to keep that in mind, right? It's going to be very soon. It's going to be in April, right? So these guys have done a lot of development and they're almost ready, and we're finally going to see this in action. I'm actually curious to test it out on WhatsApp myself, and I'm sure you are too as the viewer, just to find out how it actually works and if it's any good, right? If it's going to attract people and if it's going to cause that mass adoption to trigger, right? If it's going to trigger it, because if it triggers it, that's going to be great for everyone that's an early investor in cryptocurrency. So not only that, but the developers also plan to add more services to the software going forward and are hoping to integrate price checking and trading at a later date. So that's pretty interesting. Now of course they're going to be including Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Ether as well eventually, right? And oh yeah, and the other thing which is very important is they're also looking at other popular messaging applications such as Telegram, which a lot of crypto users use, and Facebook Messenger, and also Viber, right? So the hope is that by providing services from within a familiar application, more people will be willing to give crypto a try for themselves. Okay, because a lot of people at the moment, right, they see this as FUD, right? They see, okay, so Bitcoin's price was almost 20k or over 20k around January 2018, so they're thinking, well, if it crashed so much, that means it's crap, right? That means I'm not going to be investing in this, right? Because I'm going to lose my money. But that's only because they heard the negative stories from the people that invested late in the game when the price was already very high, right? But if you think about it, now that the price is low, I'm surprised why people aren't actually looking into this, right? Considering that so many companies across the world are talking about cryptocurrencies, right? We weren't initially sure if cryptocurrencies are here to stay. We knew that blockchain is here to stay. But if you look at it from a different point of view, right, so many companies, right, IBM, Microsoft, Facebook, all of these companies are involved in cryptocurrencies. What's there so hard to believe that is not here to stay? I think it is, right? This is my personal view on it. So yeah, that's pretty cool, right? We're seeing this happen actually finally. So yes, starting from next month, we're going to see it integrated into WhatsApp and hopefully the other social media platforms pretty soon. And also, Tippin, which is another company, they've actually created this feature within Twitter so that if somebody posts something on Twitter, so it tweets something, I don't know, some whatever post they do, people have the option to tip them in Bitcoin Lightning, which is basically Satoshi on the Bitcoin Lightning network. Okay, so that's pretty cool. There's a tip functionality basically, in Twitter, because we're seeing these tip functionalities in YouTube, for example. YouTube has it in the super chat, but not with cryptocurrencies. And I do wonder if at some point YouTube would look at integrating some cryptocurrency functionalities when it comes to tipping. That would be pretty cool in my opinion. And I think they will do it eventually. Now we don't know when, but I think that they will do it. I mean, if Twitter are gonna do it, you know, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it with YouTube at some point and other social media platforms too. So will Wuabit and Tippin really make a difference to crypto adoption? Personally, I think they will because they are taking the additional steps, right? They are making steps forward. They are progressing. So if they launch next month, we'll finally be able to test it out and see for ourselves how it's going to look like and if it's any good or if it's not so good, right? So of course they're going to be taking any feedback that people give them. I'm sure they will. So they're going to try and make sure that it's going to be bug free, at least when they integrate it. If it does have any bugs, you know, that would be a problem because obviously you don't want people to lose their money when they send coins across to other people, right? So they'll probably try to make it quite simple to use. But okay, that's that about Wuabit. So yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye out on any upcoming news, especially next month, to find out the progress on the development and the integration of the cryptocurrency send and receive function on WhatsApp. That being said, let's talk about Ontology. So what do we have for Ontology? What's to come for the Top Network, which is an Ontology incubated project? Now, so the Top Network is actually doing an airdrop at the moment via Ontology. Okay, using the candy box feature. Ontology basically do this candy box. They've got this special promotion airdrop system that they normally do, like they did with Hyper Dragons Go, which is a blockchain game on the Ontology blockchain. Now it's pretty much the same with Top, except Top is not actually on the Ontology blockchain, right? Top is actually going to be on their own blockchain. They're building their own blockchain, but they're going to be integrating Ontology, so it actually says it here. And let's talk a little bit about Top. So what are Top? So Top are an incubation of the Top network, our incubation, sorry. So it's referring to Ontology's incubation within the Top network, and we'll get to that in a moment. And basically Top are a full stack decentralized cloud communication services platform. Now the reason why Top is so big right now in the news, right, in terms of Ontology mentioning them, is because they've announced the first IEO on Huobi today, March 26th. Now what is IEO? IEO is an initial exchange offering, right, which is a token sale held on an exchange pretty much. And apparently it has seen growing in popularity recently. Now personally I've never heard of them. This is the first time I've heard of them from the Top network. I've only heard of ICOs and STOs and also IPOs, which are initial public offerings, but never heard of IEOs. So yes, Top is actually one of them. So what's to come? So Top Network offers a suite of cloud communication services such as messaging, calling, live streaming, and more. On a public distributed ledger, developers can utilize these services to implement communication functions in their apps while tapping into blockchain user data privacy. Using Top's public blockchain release in Q2 2019, Dingtone, CoverMe, and SkyVPN, along with their existing user bases exceeding 50 million people, plan to migrate to the new platform. These apps will get rid of their centralized communication layer and start to operate on Top's network, decentralized cloud communication network, and a shift which is going to make them the first pack of dApps using the Top network. So right off the bat, the Top network are going to be getting a bunch of dApps as soon as they launch. So this is pretty cool because this shows you that these guys have actually planned ahead. They've learned from the mistakes of others. Maybe this is the best way to put it, right? Now the Top token, which is the native utility token on the Top network blockchain, will replace fiat currencies and reward points as the tool of in-app payments and incentive plan. Top will also use Ontology's OntID account system to offer Ontology and ONG payments within its system. So this is where it comes in. This is where Ontology comes in, right? Where I was mentioning before about the incubation. Now, of course, Top are also doing an airdrop for the Ontology community, and to celebrate Top's network IO and upcoming mainnet, Ontology is currently airdropping 50 million Top to the community through a series of airdrops, and you'll have the chance to grab some candy up until April 30th of 2019. And actually one way to do so was via Twitter. Now it actually ended today. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to cover this on the news earlier, or I would have let you know in case you haven't already found out, but I'm sure you probably did, most of you at least that are watching this video. Unfortunately, I was quite busy, so I didn't have time to do any videos whatsoever. Yeah, they basically ended that section of the airdrop, but there are more airdrops and more ways to do so, and you can simply click on this article. Again, I'm going to be posting a link to this Medium article, so within it, if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, click on the airdrop article and you'll get all the information on the different airdrops that they're offering. So that's that about the top network. Let's talk about Neo, and we're going to start off with Phantasma chain. Well, the reason why I'm saying Phantasma chain is within the Neo ecosystem right at the moment is because they haven't really migrated yet, right? We still need to wait for the mainnet. So for now, for me, they're still on the Neo ecosystem, right? They're still an NEP5 token, and they're going to continue to be on the Neo ecosystem partially. It's going to be like a hybrid if you think about it, right? Because they're going to allow like you to do the token swap between NEP5 and the Phantasma chains sold coin, right? But you can do so freely throughout 2019. So they're going to be pretty much a hybrid blockchain, right? They're going to be both a Neo DApp and on the Phantasma blockchain. So yes, what do we have about them? Sergio, right, who's the CEO of Phantasma chain. He's also a City of Zion developer, and he's presenting the Phantasma software development toolkit at the Blockchain Developers Workshop in Paris. So I've mentioned this in a previous news video when they've basically told us that they're going to have a conference presentation in Paris. So this is quite good. Basically, he's trying to explain people how to use the software development toolkit within Phantasma chain so that companies or simply developers can start creating dApps if they're interested, right? This is the whole point, to try to attract developers to Phantasma blockchain. And of course, not only that, but they're also he's also going to explain, or he already explained, basically how the whole ecosystem within Phantasma works, the Phantasma marketplace, the storage, the staking, everything. I'm sure he mentioned every single thing. Basically the article that we've read from Lee Kai that was posted a while ago, and also the interview that I did with him where we spoke about the different topics and the different news coming to Phantasma chain in April. So we're actually really excited for that, and we look forward to it. But yeah, that's that. I'm going to keep an eye out on the news from Phantasma chain as always, and I'm curious to find out what more we're going to get from them. That being said, let's talk about more Neo news, and we've got Neo Name Service. Now, before I start talking about NNC Fish from Neo Name Service, I just want to tell you that Neo Name Service have listed the NNC token on the GAEX exchange. So GAEX exchange is the one here, as you can see, JAEX, that's the exchange here. And basically they've listed on there, so it is tradable, right? It is tradable. It isn't tradable on Switcheo DEX yet, and I'm not sure why. I know that there were some problems with the smart contract, so that may be the reason. Maybe now with version 3.0 on Switcheo smart contract, and we're going to talk about that as well. Maybe they can list NNC, I'm not so sure, but for now GAEX is the way to get NNC, or of course over the counter on Cryptoholics. As I always mention, Cryptoholics on Telegram is a trusted escrow service, okay, over the counter service with a trusted escrow. There are a number of people on there, a number of admins which you can trade with basically when you're interested, and when somebody wants to buy your NNC tokens, or if you want to buy NNC tokens from somebody else. Again, not financial advice, I'm just pointing out what your options are. So let's talk about NNC Fish. So actually this was posted today. NNC and Fish Chain have a partnership. So I'm not going to go through the whole article because it's quite long, but basically it's a new game, right? Fish Chain. This already exists, so there is a link for it already. But basically NNC is the token of NNS, as you already know. And how did it suddenly become a fish, right? That's what you're asking here. So basically it's a partnership to integrate the NNC token within Fish Chain. Okay, so NNC is a special fish from the collaboration between NNS and Fish Chain. It has the special ability to produce NNC, so pretty much like mining. While the NNC fishbowl has a computing power, the NNC fish can produce more NNC after it's put into the NNC fishbowl. So of course, in addition to the production of NNC, there are more interesting ways to play, such as fishing NNC fish in fish ponds. You can also breed, you can give birth to more NNC fish babies. So this kind of reminds me of CryptoKitties and also on Hyper Dragons Go, because Hyper Dragons Go do that, right? They've got that functionality. I've done a demo, I've done various demos on Hyper Dragons Go, and I'll continue to do them as they release more features. But yeah, this is actually very similar. Now the gameplay strategies as well do have a read through these as well. It's pretty interesting because of course we're talking about non-fungible tokens. They're on the Ethereum blockchain, but of course they're going to integrate NNC. So it's going to be interesting to find out how that'll work, because we know that the NNC token is on the Neo blockchain. So I'm not sure how, but there may be some cross-chain functionality there, some way to actually integrate it, right? Because otherwise they wouldn't have said it. They wouldn't have mentioned this partnership, and they wouldn't have said that you can mine NNC tokens if it was restricted, right? So there may be some way, they maybe found some way. I'm not entirely sure on the technical details of it, but I would be curious to find out how they're doing it. But yeah, if we're looking at this through the article, of course, do read through the article, because there isn't enough time in this video to cover everything. But yeah, basically you can produce tokens using NNC fish by simply mining using fishes, right? You can mine using the fishbowl. So yeah, pretty interesting game, pretty interesting concept. So yeah, do have a read through if you're interested, especially if you're a gamer. Like I was saying earlier in earlier videos, there are many games coming to the blockchain now. Not all of them are 100% decentralized. I don't think any of them are 100% decentralized at the moment. A lot of them are hybrid. Some functionalities are on the blockchain. Most of them are centralized. So yes, that's that. Fine, let's talk about the next news from the Neo ecosystem. And we've got NOS Poker and For the Win offer FTW Tuesday Poker Tournament. So actually in a previous news video, I have mentioned NOS Poker, right? They're creating these poker games every week. And now For the Win, which is the first decentralized lottery platform on the Neo blockchain, are also integrated into NOS, right? Within the NOS application, basically NOS Poker application, as they're saying here. So basically the conditions are that you need to hold 5,000 FTX tokens to be able to enter. Now the tokens are not actually spent, so it's just holding them to ensure that you actually hold them, right? To prove that you're a holder of these actual tokens. So yes, the tournament, which splits the prize pool of 50,000 FTX tokens, require its participants to hold 5,000 FTX, right? Because we've got probably 10 participants. Actually, no, the maximum number of entrants is 45, so we've got 45 entrants, and the winner will earn 17,500 FTX. And of course, it's distributed based on the position that you finish in the tournament. I'm assuming it's Texas Hold'em. I haven't actually looked into it, but if you're interested, do check it out. As the full article is posted in the link below. So once again, we're seeing more news from For the Win. They're actually making a lot of changes recently now. Unfortunately, FT Exchange doesn't seem to be functional anymore. It is down, right? You are not able to access it, which was the trustless OTC platform. So now you've got Switcheo that does the trustless OTC. But yeah, For the Win are basically focusing on the lottery platform and on the games within the blockchain, right? And we're talking about these gambling games, right, where you can play poker, where you can casino style games, you know, lotteries, these kind of things, raffles. So they're kind of focusing towards that area. But cool, yeah, that's that about For the Win and NOS. Let's talk about Switcheo. So what do we have from Switcheo? So Switcheo updates token listing policy to protect traders and increase liquidity. So this is not completely new. This is actually from March 24th. You may be aware of this already, but if not, then basically I just want to give you a short summary that Switcheo are going to be stricter when it comes to listing tokens, right? Because they don't want to be a place where they can just be viewed as a dumping ground, right? Where basically they list every single token after an ICO or an STO, and people just start dumping it, and the price crashes, and people are going to think, oh, Switch is just that place where you can just dump the token after the token sale, right? So they're trying to stay away from that that kind of view, right? And yeah, for the listing consideration, tokens must have over $100 million in market capitalization to signal strong demand for the token usage. So that's interesting, because I think Switcheo have actually progressed really well. Maybe not as well as they would like to, but they have been doing pretty good. And I'm actually going to have another video cast pretty soon with Jack Yu from Switcheo, and I will be posting it at some point. But yeah, I'm sure you're going to be interested. So do check out do make sure to subscribe to my channel, and do check out my videos, especially enable notifications, because then you'll know exactly when I'm uploading a video. Now, unfortunately, I can't really do live streams at the moment. I will be doing live streams at some point in the future, but for now I just do pre-recorded sessions and I just upload them. So yes, that's that about Switcheo. They are becoming stricter when it comes to listings, and also they're saying that they've delisted new kind of network because they're moving to the Ethereum blockchain. They're migrating there, and also Moonlight temporarily because they're doing a smart contract upgrade. Right, so yes, just keep that in mind if you've got new kind of network on there or Moonlight. Cool, that's that. Let's talk a bit more about Switcheo, which is about the Switcheo account going live with a $5 Ethereum sign-up bonus. Now, what is Switcheo account? So Switcheo account is basically a way to create a multi-chain wallet, and simply explained in a non-technical fashion is in a similar way to a centralized exchange, right? We know that Switcheo is a hybrid exchange. They're not fully decentralized, but until now you are able to log in only with your private key, encrypted key, or ledger, right? So you had to use your wallet to log in. You had to deposit your funds from your wallet to their smart contract to be able to trade on Switcheo. Well, now you can create this wallet, which is basically like a username. You can create a username, a password, and an email address, and your phone number, and you can link these, as well as a 2FA protection as well, okay, two-factor authentication, security protection, which is basically if you have let's say on your phone, like say, I don't know, what is it called, Google 2FA, right? So if you have something like that, for example, you basically generate a key every 30 seconds to protect your account, right? So if somebody manages to find out your password, they do need to know that key as well to be able to access your account. So you know, it basically secures your account even more. So that option is there, of course, your phone number too. So yes, it's basically to get people that are not so familiar with managing their wallets to use Switcheo, because some people don't use Switcheo simply because of that. So yeah, it's going to be a multi-chain wallet, and they are saying that the 12-word recovery phrase on the client's device is basically how it works, right? So this is how it works. It's going to generate the mnemonic phrase, and yes, don't worry, Switcheo doesn't have access to it apparently. They are actually saying that here, and yeah, you should basically take a note of that mnemonic phrase, because that is important, right? Because without that, you know, you won't be able to access your funds. $5 of USD, $5 of Ethereum are going to be on offer to fund the first 3,000 Switcheo accounts with $5 worth of Ethereum in order to register. Users will need to have a unique email address, mobile phone number, and the Google Authenticator 2FA application. Finally, Switcheo has published a guide for users who would like assistance while registering their own Switcheo account. So yeah, do check the guide if you're interested. I haven't actually done a demo on this simply because of the security behind it, right? Because I would have to reveal my phone number and also my email address, so I don't feel comfortable doing that. Obviously for security reasons, but if there's some way to mask it, I would probably mask it and maybe do a demo. But considering how easy it is, I mean, I have looked at it and it's really straightforward, just like creating an account on any other centralized exchange, nothing complicated. So pretty much anybody can do it. It's very straightforward, and there's also a guide on how to do it here. So yes, that's that about Switcheo. And finally, I'm going to end this video with NASH's news, right? So NASH is going to be a decentralized exchange, which are going to be launching at the very end of March. Actually, 31st of March is the beta launch. And they're going to go live with a number of tokens, of course. And they're actually going to have an event. So on April 27, they're going to be discussing their development work from the first quarter in London. So if you're in London, okay, this is the address here, Finsbury, 18 Finsbury Square, London. You can actually get a deposit, sorry, a ticket if you're interested, and just go and attend and see what it's all about, right? So yeah, there is a deposit, right? A refundable deposit of €10. It's actually £10 because when I went on the link to check it out, it said £10. Obviously because it's in London, so we're talking about pounds, right? And actually, Neo News today made a mistake here because they said that the ticket sales will close on January 17th. They actually close in April, right? So they're at some point in April. If you go to the website, you can see it there. Yeah, 27th of April is when the event is on, so there's still some time. Do check it out again if you're in London, you're interested to find out more about NASH's progress, because NASH has been really hyped lately. I'm not entirely sure why, but it's been very hyped, right? Maybe because it's a security, maybe, I don't know. But it is what it is. I don't even think Binance Dex, I mean, Binance Dex was quite talked about as well, but I don't think it was as hyped as Nash, right? Nash was really hyped in my opinion. So yes, that's that about all the news for today. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, please do hit the likes. I would really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave a comment below if you have any sort of questions, any sort of doubts, or if you want to raise any concerns. And yeah, please do subscribe to my channel if you're new, if it's the first time you've seen my video and you're interested to find out more. And don't forget to enable notifications, like I said, to be up to date with all the videos I upload, including demos, reviews, news, and also video casts. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day. Goodbye.